Well, it is another perfect morning here in Goroka, Papua New Guinea. I'm heading off to Yoke. I have not been out there myself in quite a while. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I've taken you guys out there. It's got to be at least probably almost a year. Here's what the weather is looking like, and I think it's going to be like this all the way out there. Very high overcast. We'll go over the weather in just a minute, but I think that it's just going to be a nice clear morning, maybe with some scuzzy little low clouds here and there. But I'm waiting for a weather report in about a half hour. It is about 6:20 right now, so I'm starting my day just a little bit early. I'm going to go ahead and get my plane ready. It's already halfway loaded. I got to throw an extra seat on because we got an extra standby passenger out there, potentially. So let's go ahead and get everything off. Covers, I've already fueled on Friday. It's Monday morning now, so let's get going so we can get out of here by 7. Here's my load so far. I think I remember them saying this was 174 kgs right here. We've got 4 seats up there. Like I said, I'll throw one back there. And I've got probably another 160 or so kgs to go underneath the airplane in those pods. Because it's just me and our flight coordinator today, I'm gonna go ahead and go get my other seat right now. Throw that in the back while he is getting my manifest ready for me. But first, let's go ahead and open up the door. Throw this back here. Let's grab our start stick. So if you have not seen my other videos, this is just a battery stick that helps extend the life of the airplane's batteries because they are, I think, more expensive than this one. Well, it's not amazingly better yet, but I've got to get going on my day. I've got a really long day with miles today. And my volts are above 25. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll show some pictures on the screen here of what the guys out there just sent me. It is still drizzling. According to the forecast though, it's all kind of moving off. 7:12 now. By the time I get out there close to 8, it's forecasting that it should be kind of out of the area for the most part. There's still really good visibility. It's just a little drizzly right now. That's not going to slow me down. As is, I'll be done by probably 2:30 in the afternoon today if all goes well. Our fuel is on, our caps have been checked, our selectors are good. We've got 980 on the fuel today. And we are going out to a safe place, Yoke. Activate that. I think I can go straight there, so we might delete that. We're going up to 12,000 feet. We're going to be going down. The depart tab, 1 POB, and we'll go ahead and send it. Rotate 59 knots according to our weights today. We have some fog kind of coming in, but it looks pretty thin. Goroka Tower, good morning, November Tango Echo. Request taxi Yoke 1 POB. QNH 1020.
Station calling Goroka Tower.
November Tango Echo, request taxi Yoke 1 POB.
November Tango Tower, good morning, 7117 left, get back track and line up. QNH from tower not available, wind come.
Go to backtrack line up 17 left. QNH showing 1020, November Tango Echo. Alright, left is clear, right is clear. We're doing the runway inspection over there on the other runway. When I taxi out of here, I'm always looking at the mountain ridges over there. How am I going to get out of the valley? We do have a little bit of fog down here, but it's very, very isolated fog. I think I should probably be able to wiggle myself around it. Then head out for the water boom. Kind of cut my way through the 2 little layers, it looks like, maybe a higher layer. I can't quite tell from this level, but once I get out, I would say for the first half of my flight, should be good weather. For the second half of my flight, getting down, according to what my phone weather app, Windy, has said, it looks like it's going to be like probably some layers, drizzly, figuring out how I'm going to get down into the valley. November Tango Echo ready for departure.
November Tango, just confirm level and takeout bound. Details I have here is for Mock.
we're going to Yumbai Talk today. Outbound track will be 303 on climb 1-2000, and I'll have the guys at the office double check. It might be under a different airplane if you want to check Kilo or Zulu, just in case I made a mistake.
November Tango Echo. Understood, 1-2000. And 17 left, right, 10, clear for takeoff.
17 left, right, turn, cliff takeoff, November Tango Echo. Alright, ignition, condition, flaps 20, fuel, harnesses, and prop checklist is complete. Let's go. Let's probably make a little bit of a left hand and then around the clouds. 1390. Set airspeed's alive, ITT 716 and climbing, that's good. Looking for 59, there's 59. We'll just bump up our ITT up to 740 though. Now that I'm already up just a tiny bit, I can see that all that kind of fog is not even really fog, it's just full tiny little sparse clouds here and there. And I'm already above it, just 300 feet. Looks like just one cloud right here. We're just keeping our ITT right up as close as we can to 740. Because I'm not that heavy, I'm going to go ahead and just start my turnout now. We're over 85, so let's go 10 degrees of flaps. Over 90, we'll go 0. Bring my prop on back to 2000 RPM. Believe our ITT, it's 730 right now. I'm just going to let it work its way down to 720 on its own. Looking out here, yep, looks like the water boom is going to be my best option to get over top of the clouds at around 8,500 feet. It's already cold in here. Over to here, get my details. Croker Tower, November Tango, Echo departed at time 18. We'll be tracking 303 on climb 1-2000, estimating Yumbai Talk 01.
November Tango Echo, on climb 1-2000, and 15 miles per atmosphere, and 120.1, 6598.
1201-6598 at 15, November Tango Echo. Good for the day. Now, it does look like there might be a little bit of a layer right here around 7,000, and then underneath it should be clear, so I'm kind of going for that sliver up there. So we'll go ahead and switch our QNH down to 1010. That's 10 lower than the local for the area, and that'll get me kind of pretty close. There we go, now we're clear. Now I can continue my climb on up. We'll parallel this line. You can see where it gets really dark up here. That's where Mount Wilhelm is, 15,000 feet, so we're just going to parallel it all the way out. I'll text these guys out here in Yumbai Talk before I get out of phone service. Let them know my run. Yeah, go ahead.
I should just confirm tracking direct Yumbai Talk over German.
We'll be just going direct, track 303, 1-2000.
November Tango Echo.
Alright, ETA 801. So on drizzly days like this, we might have to take the low route once we get about 20 miles of Yumbai Talk and just fly up the river. We might just find out that it's just a high overcast and it's kind of just drizzly, kind of like what we're seeing right ahead of us, but I don't know yet. So autopilot on, just on heading mode. This does not have airspeed hold, so I'm only doing heading mode. I'm going for that big saddle up there. And then I'm just going to trim out my airspeed. Oh, yes, it does have, let me show you real quick. Our autopilot does have vertical speed and an altitude select, which would basically be holding, let's say, my 950 feet to 1,000 feet per minute climb. But what happens though is you climb up in altitude, the airplane just doesn't perform as well at higher altitudes. The air is less dense, means the propeller doesn't perform as well. It's not biting the air quite as well, so your climb performance is going to go down. So if I were to set that up, vertical speed and altitude at 12,000 feet, it would try to maintain that. But as I'm getting up into thinner air, it's working harder, and to be able to maintain that 950 feet per minute, it's going to continue to start pitching up, which means my airspeed is going to start going down. Well, I have to have at least 100 knots of airspeed for me to be able to use the autopilot. Eventually, it's not going to perform well enough, and it's going to go start below that 100. And then I'm gonna have to start cranking it down to like 800, no 700, 600. So if I just trim it for an airspeed around 110 to 115, it will just sit there and kind of porpoise up and down just a little bit as it's climbing. It will stay within about a 5-knot range. I don't have to monitor it. Once I get all the way up to about 11.8, it will beep at me, let me know I'm almost at 12,000, and then I can level myself off. If I do it the other way, and it starts to increase my pitch, well then, now my rudder trim, I'm going to need more right rudder, so I'm going to have more right rudder, and I'm going to have to adjust that. But then, once I crank it down, it's going to lower the nose, and then I'm going to have to readjust my trim. So there's a lot more involved than just like, oh, I just want to use my autopilot. Taking these things through, rather than just going kind of like, oh, I've got autopilot, I'm just going to use autopilot every single time. Make your life easier, reduce your workload. Talk a lot about this in my book that I have for you guys about how to become a better pilot. I've shared about it in other videos. Just like wisdom does not come with age. I'm sure you guys know some old people that are not very wise. You can have some really old pilots that are also not so wise or not so great at what they do. It's because they've never thought these processes through and going, okay, just because we have the stuff available, should we use it in every scenario? Now you guys can see I'm still holding my 113 knots, but now I'm down to about 700 feet per minute. Instead of the 950 to 1,000 just a few minutes ago. First 15 miles, that chime's letting me know I'm within 200 feet of 12,000. So vertical speed and altitude select, that will now level me off. Orsby 120.1, November Tango Echo transfer.
November Tango Echo, good morning, this is Mosby, go ahead.
November Tango Echo, 15 miles to the west of Goroka 12000, estimating Yambai Talk 01.
November Tango Echo, 12000, reported traffic, at QNH 1010, and so just confirm after Yambai Talk, you're returning back to Goroka.
Affirmative, back to Goroka after Yambai Talk, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo.
I wonder if I filed my flight plan maybe on the wrong day or something. I should ask Miles to check that one too. And Moresby, November Tango Echo. I'm having somebody update my flight plan to show the correct location. It should be updated within about 5 minutes.
November Tango Echo, Mosby, copy that, Nora, standing by.
Apparently I had filed out to Moke out in the islands by mistake. I don't know how I quite did that, but either way, Miles is changing it for me. Now looking ahead, there's definitely a lot of gloominess up there. A lot of high clouds over here to the right. Once we get, I don't know, probably about another 20 minutes up there, and then we'll have to really start thinking about how we're going to get down through those layers, because we can't just descend down through it, because there is mountains. So we have to figure out the safest way to be able to marginally VFR or work our way down to the ground. In fact, I might even be able to check the weather right now, because I still have some internet up here. Alright, well, we are probably around in there. There's Mount Hagen over here. We're heading up to that one up there. And I am on fog setting right now. So if I go to satellite, oh, there's all that's blue, and then there's a little bit of rain, and that would show what that is. But then there's like this big clear area right here, and that is good. And if we zoom in here, all that moisture has started moving off of there. So if I hit play, this is what it was an hour ago. It's working its way off. Now it's off. That's when I got the pictures. Now it's starting to move over more to the west. So still looks cloudy-ish, but the rain and moisture and things like that are moving off. So that is good. If I click over on visibility, right on the edge of, if you look down here, VFR, marginal VFR, and IFR, right kind of in the marginal VFR, but if I come on up here to 8, well, it still says marginal VFR, and says 9, then it starts clearing out. So it doesn't look like it gets substantially better throughout the morning. And that's why I chose just to come out here and give it a go. Let's get our descent profile in here. We're going all the way down to 1,600 feet for pattern altitude. And it's just myself on board. And I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to go set it up for, I think 700 feet per minute. Even though I'm kind of planning on maybe doing a little bit steeper of a descent after that. But that way it will chime and say, hey, top of descent. And that kind of cues me in going, okay, we're getting to the point where we're going to have to start going down here pretty soon. Really start evaluating, do I want to start my early descent now? And maybe get under early? Or do I want to make the decision and say, no, I think I'm going to stay up a little bit higher for a little bit longer and make a steeper descent depending on how the clouds are. Right now it's not looking amazing up there. It's like very bluish gloominess out there. But sometimes that just means that there's moisture in the air. It doesn't mean like it's like downpouring up there. It just means like there's some moisture somewhere out there and it just makes everything blue. I've been doing this channel now for 5.5 years, and I would love to hear your feedback on what you guys would like to see maybe a little more of. Maybe I'll do a poll. Would you guys like to see some more on-the-ground content? Over the past 6 months or so, I really haven't shown a lot of that because I feel like a lot of the places I go, it's like showing the same content. Is there something specific about the culture you guys would like to know more? Is there something more about like the actual mission work that I actually do that you guys are more interested in? Are you guys interested in me flying with some of our missionaries if they're cool with it? And maybe interviewing them and hearing their story? What is it that you guys would like to see, or would you guys just like to see the same kind of content? I just don't want this to get boring, and sometimes I feel like it's just kind of boring and a little bit monotonous, because how many different ways can you make things go different on a flight unless, well, you've got weather, and I love crummy day weathers because it makes my videos more interesting to shoot because I have to think more than just going in a straight line. So leave comments down below. I really do listen to you guys, and I really do want to maybe adjust this channel to make it a little more interesting and maybe a little more fresh. All right, now I'm getting up to the edge of this cloud, and it is looking a little bit better. I can see it's just this kind of cloud right here and a little over here, just like the windy app was showing on the satellite, and it looks like it's going to clear up a little bit past it with just some low scuzzy clouds. Well, I do have a good, easy, let's see, I'm almost potentially seeing 60 miles up there. It still looks really dark and crummy and fuzzy. The fact that I can see the ridge line on the other side of Yambaitok, I think, that's very encouraging. There's just coming down to 11,000. Mount Hagen is right over there. I do a quick look over there in case for some reason I'm unable to land out here, and after I circle around, well, then my alternate's going to be over to Mount Hagen. It looks like that's for sure doable. I could swing over there, get some more fuel, and try it again if things don't work out. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing the mountains that are just on the other side of Yambaitok. I can tell because there's that really hard line, like the dark one. That's about 15 to 18 miles, I think, before it. And then it's down the valley around. So again, I am seeing a good 53 nautical miles. It does look like there might be some potential drizzly area in that area. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to go ahead and change this up to 800 feet per minute. So I should have no issues on my descent. Let's take a look together at the strip chart. Make sure it says Yambaitok 128.5. It's a flat runway. For final turn left, follow the river out for our committed procedure, and winds increase after 11. Well, today, because it's so kind of scuzzy and things aren't moving around very much, I can't imagine the winds are nil. We're going to be coming up the valley this way. We'll fly directly overhead right into a downwind. You can see the whole circuit's just kind of weirdly shaped. That's just due to the fact that there's mountains here, there's mountains there, and we just stick in the middle of the valley. Here's a drone shot on a beautiful day, what it actually looks like. Will be wet. I've never had an issue stopping out there, but it will be wet, so I'll just keep that in mind. If my airplane starts to want to drift off to the left as I get into reverse, which it does sometimes, then I'll just come out of reverse real quick, continue to pump the brakes, and then get into heavy beta. Start up the buddy check now. Our fuel selectors are both turned on. My brakes are good. My train awareness will get in just a minute. Our approach speed, if we head over to landing performance, it's 69 knots. Our lights and inlets are done. If we have to go around, we already talked about it. It's short final, power up, 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 12 degrees on the agitator, and make a left-hand turn down the river. Then reset top of the torque because we're going to be at sea level. So I'm going to torque out before I temp out at sea level. If you guys are interested in seeing maybe a little bit more content on the ground like I was saying earlier, I will leave a link below. If I forget, someone just leave a comment, remind me. I'll leave a link down below of a video you guys can watch that would typically only be available for patrons or something like that. So you can see what kind of content I do post on my Patreon page. So that way you can support the channel, get a little bit of extra kind of behind the scenes content either on the ground or maybe around the hangar or talking about different things. And there's ways you guys can ask me questions on there. Oh, just a little bit extra content that I don't post here publicly on YouTube. All stations, jump by talk 128.5. Kodiak November Tango Echo 10 miles to the east-southeast, passing 5,000 on descent. Will be circuit time 59er. Jump by talk. Winds are coming from behind me, which means I'll have a little bit of a crosswind for landing, which is fine. And that also means I potentially might have a tailwind for takeoff. And that's where it becomes a problem. So hopefully when we get down it just dies off. I'm really hoping because I know I'm going to be really close to my max getting out of here on weight. Now it's up to 10 knots. That's not great. It's crazy that it's already up to 11 and the clouds really aren't moving around very much, which is kind of odd. Now it's 12, so yeah, there's a good chance it'll be like 15 when I get down there. Let's autopilot off. We're just 4 miles to run. I'm just going to pull my power all the way back. 7 to 800, that's what I'm going to want in the circuit. We'll do prop forward. Yep, up to 15 knots now. Up in harness. Moresby 1285, November Tango Echo in the circuit. Yambai talk, report after landing.
November Tango Echo, no reported traffic, HF 8819 or 6598.
8819 or 6598, secondary November Tango Echo. Not too bad. Let me come over this way so I can see up to 16 knots of tailwind behind me now. I'm really hoping that it just kind of drops off. Yeah, the windsock's not really showing anything down there, so it is literally just hanging completely limp. And then bam, right here, the rain. It was raining just like a quarter mile back that way. Now it just has a couple sprinkles, so that is good. Go 10 degrees of flaps. Getting a little bit of right rudder pressure in as we're slowing down as well. So 20 degrees flaps. We're at 1.5. We're going to start making our turn to basically like kind of a weird shaped base to final. We want 69 knots, so I'm slowing to 79 knots now. Looking for a weird tree joggle on the hill. You're not going to be able to see it, but I know what I'm looking for. Which gets me about 900 feet or about 300 feet turning final. Where it is, there's a lot of clouds out there. There we go, I think that's it.
500.
It's still 15 knots. I'm gonna go full flaps now, that way I can start slowing down more. Turn final about 74 knots. Up 69 knots. Leveling off. Let's move over a little bit closer to the hill. 11 knots, so it's dropping off a little bit. Yeah, not even barely a drizzle. I've just got a couple raindrops on my windshield, but it's definitely not actively raining. Eight knots, so yep, still dropping off, that's good. Here's my tree, right around 900 feet. That's what I'm looking for. Right. Here's my 79. We want 69 now, so I'm just slowing on down now. 5 knots, so yeah, definitely dropping off. That's good. Right, 600 on the descent. We're a couple knots fast. Pull a little bit of power, slow down. 500 on the descent. All right, 4 knots of headwind. Boy, I know what my tailwind is. All right, we're committed. All right, 4 knots is what it's showing. Potential tailwind for takeoff. Not terrible, but definitely not great. It's not even drizzling here. It just has some water on the windshield is all. Moresby 8819er November Tango Echo on the ground. Yumbai talk, cancel SAR. November Tango Echo. There you go, guys. Thanks for joining. Like I said, go check out that on the ground video that I'm going to hopefully post for you guys. You guys can see what you can expect on my Patreon page. If you're a flight simmer, head over there as well. I've got tons of flights that you guys can fly, little missions and stuff.